What's going on, everybody? Nathan King here. Have you ever wondered what goes on in the life of an Air Force fire dispatcher? What exactly do we do that's so different from a civilian dispatcher? What kind of calls do we handle? How do we end up in this job? I mean, like, what kind of airplanes do we fly? Sorry, bad joke. But today I'm going to take you into the daily life of an Air Force fire dispatcher. Fire dispatch is a specialty position that takes a firefighter off the floor and converts them into a 911 operator through the Telecom Career Development course, better known through the military as a CDC. I know you military members know exactly what that is. Although the Nellis Fire Department is staffed by military and civilian members, fire dispatch is manned entirely by active duty military personnel. The shift schedule we're currently working is a unique one. Right now I'm working the graveyard hours, 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. on weekends and 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. on Monday and Tuesday, and then I have Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday off. Yeah, the night shift, not so easy to get used to. The main difficulty is that I get home, my body knows it's daylight outside. Honestly, sometimes I can sleep great, and then sometimes I sleep 3-4 hours and I can't sleep anymore. Everything's built around having the dispatch center manned 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because obviously, call 911, someone doesn't answer, we got problems. BDOC, Base Defense Operations Center, aka Security Forces, and Fire. We now work alongside each other in dispatch. This allows us to coordinate and share information more efficiently, which improves the overall emergency response. So a day in the life of a 911 operator looks a little like this. When you're coming on shift, you receive a pass-on from the dispatcher you're replacing. This would be all the emergencies that happened while that dispatcher was working and any other pertinent information that should be passed on. After that, you sit down, log on to the computer, and make sure that all the programs are running as they should. This would be the Monaco alarm system, Harris radio system, First In alert system, Vesta phone system, and last, the Nellis SharePoint. Monaco Enterprises and their D21 mass notification system is the platform the DoD uses to track fire alarms base-wide. From here, when an alarm is received, specific information such as the type of alarm and building number is provided so that the operator can dispatch out the correct units to take care of the situation. The First In alert system allows the dispatcher to tone out the emergency type, and the building number to one or multiple fire stations. Each station has an audible and visual alert hookup in the halls and in the rooms. This helps to reduce the response time of firefighters and reduce stress levels, believe it or not. When I first started working and I would go to sleep, I was worried, like, what if I don't wake up? What if I just sleep through the call? You know, everyone's out there waiting on me and I just passed out. So when the First In system goes off, the lights start blinking, the loud tone starts going, and if that doesn't wake you up, I guarantee somebody's gonna bust in your room and get you up. So having that First In alert system just put your mind at ease, aka reduce stress levels. The Harris radio system is how dispatchers stay in contact with first responders while on scene and monitor radio traffic. Multiple channels can be utilized to include the Nellis primary, training, prevention, and 5 different TACs. The TAC channels are used when 2 or more emergencies are ongoing so that crucial radio traffic from one emergency isn't interrupted by another. ACES, Automated Civil Engineering System, is a program used to log and track dispatched emergencies. Any and all important information about the emergency is recorded in this database to keep track for future use in a number of different ways. Our phone system is run through a program called Vesta. When a 911 call comes in, it sounds like this. When a regular call comes in, it sounds like this. Above, you can see the major organizations found on base that are most frequently contacted. They can be easily called with the click of a button. The other phone system we utilize is the crash phones. When the air traffic control tower on the flight line receives word of an in-flight emergency, they contact dispatch with the information, and we dispatch out the engine and crash trucks ASAP. Lastly, we have the Nellis SharePoint. Under the ECC tab, Emergency Communication Center, there are so many acronyms in the military. You'll find the many documents we use in dispatch. The SharePoint is a convenient one-stop shop for all the information or documentation that an employee could be looking for. Alright, I'll show you an example of what a medical emergency looks and sounds like from the moment the call comes in to dispatching units out. 911, where's your emergency? Okay, what's the nature of the emergency, ma'am? Okay, please stand by while I dispatch fire and medical.
Engine Chief Rescue Response Building 0277 Medical.
Station 1, you're responding to a medical emergency at Building 277 for a male who's having trouble breathing. That's all the information we have at this time. After first responders are en route, you want to follow up with the medics at the base hospital and make sure they're tracking the emergency so they can head that way as well. Throughout the emergency, radio traffic is monitored and additional resources that first responders may need at the scene are contacted. While doing this, an ACES report is also started that logs everything in chronological order. These include things like the time the call came in, the time you dispatched units, when they said they were responding, etc., etc. The Nellis Fire Department has 1 minute for units to be dispatched, 1 minute after that for firefighters to bunk out and respond, and 5 minutes after that for them to get on scene and make patient contact. All of these things need to happen in less than or equal to 7 minutes. Now these times are specific to a medical emergency. Times can be a little different for other types of emergencies. Now that we've gone over the daily functions here in the dispatch center, let's talk about the differences between the military and the civilian side of dispatching. For starters, when I've contacted 911 here in Las Vegas, they answer and they say, 911, do you need fire, police, or medical? After you let them know what you're looking for, they transfer you. On base, you're the main dispatcher for all these units. You are fire, police is right there next to you, and the medics are always monitoring the radio. So when you dispatch out a call, they already hear it. All you're doing is contacting them to make sure that they're responding. Another difference would be the in-flight emergencies that you dispatch firefighters to. Obviously, this is the Air Force, so we're dealing with unique aircraft on a daily basis. Whereas an off-base operator, this is uncommon for them to deal with. Lastly, the amount of personnel that we have in the dispatch center is 1 person at night and at most 2 during the day. But at the same time, we're covering the Air Force Base, not a portion of the city. A normal 911 operating center, I guarantee, has more than 1 person at night and 2 during the day. So aside from medicals and in-flights, we dispatch units to a number of different emergencies here on base. This would include structurals, suspicious packages, yes, suspicious packages, and even mutual aids where off-base fire departments will request assistance from our fire department. The graveyard dispatcher also takes all emergency customer service calls for things that happen on base at night. This is so that we can contact the correct shop to come out and take care of the situation. It could be a wide variety of different things. Busted water pipes in a building, HVAC issues, the list is literally endless. Just when you think you heard it all, you haven't. All of these things are truly just a minor breakdown of what goes on in here. Fire dispatch is the starting point of emergencies that happen on base. As a dispatcher, you have to understand the importance in this. Fires won't be put out if you don't tone out the engines. First responders and medics will never make it to the patient if you don't dispatch them. You have to be fully trained and prepared to operate under pressure, sometimes handling more than 1 emergency at a time. This can be daunting when you're the only dispatcher in the ECC, but knowing that you play a part in helping someone in need, well, that's an irreplaceable feeling in itself. I hope this gave you guys a good inside look into what we do here at the Dispatch Center at Nellis Air Force Base. If anyone has any questions at all, please post them in the comments below and I'll be sure to answer them ASAP. Also, if there's any other side of firefighting that you guys would like to see, please, please, please let me know so that I can get to working on more fire content for y'all. Hit that like button below if you learned something today. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe for future content, and thank you guys for checking me out. I'm out of here. Peace.